Hello, I'm joined by Stephen Goh, who's the founder and CEO of migme. Could you start just by giving us an overview of the business, please?
Okay. migme is a digital media company, globally focused at what we believe is the next great arc of opportunity on the internet. I think there's this amazing opportunity that's created by the first internet, which grew substantially out of Silicon Valley and created over $1 trillion of shareholder value. We think there is another very vibrant ecosystem that exploded out of East Asia, which created companies like Alibaba, Tencent, and many others. And we believe that this next great arc of opportunity that's happening in India, Indonesia, Philippines, and many other emerging markets presents an equivalent size of opportunity as what both the first opportunity, the East Asian opportunity, and now this opportunity brings. And migme is a leading digital media player in that space. We're listed in Australia, have a fantastic anchor shareholder with Foxconn. They have 20% of the company. It's an experienced board, experienced management team, and we're just very focused on executing on the opportunity right now.
And how does the business model differ from other social networks like Facebook and Instagram?
Okay, so I think when you're in the business of social media, you're in the business of mass intimacy. How do you get people to interact with your platform, have intimate relationships, produce content and media, and ultimately, if there's increasing returns of scale, get engagement, ultimately leading to some form of monetization. When you look at the companies like Facebook, Instagram, and many others, it's about getting you to act within the service so that they understand you, and then there is an advertising or audience subscription model where advertisers can reach that audience. The East Asian business model is more about creating premium activities inside of the service, more akin to gaming companies. So in the Western case, there's King.com, which has gaming. If you look at the Eastern case, there's Tencent QQ, there's 9158, Tiango, YY.com. In Japan, there's Dina, Mixi, Gree, and many others. And they all tend to follow the premium activity model. migme believes that given the state of online advertising in many of these emerging markets, the premium activity model is a better fit, and that is what we're pursuing at the moment.
Facebook has got a very big presence in India, the Philippines, and Indonesia. Is that a challenge for you, or is there some kind of opportunity associated with it?
I think it's a huge advantage. We believe that Facebook's presence in these countries helps establish the category of digital media and social networking, and they've created a reasonably large user base in that population. We are getting most of our users from Facebook, as our artists find that there is a better match for their business model with MIG than there is on other social media, and we're drawing our audience from other established media. So Facebook's presence in these countries is fantastic. We do feel, and we have data on the ground that says that in the long run, there may not be a long run match. And that's helped us immensely at lowering our cost of customer acquisition.
How do people use social media differently in Asian countries as opposed to in European and North American ones?
I think the assumption of social media depends on a few things. It depends on your relationship to your identity online. It relates to how do you talk, communicate, and play. And how do you entertain, and also with the business models in the markets that you're in. Many of the westernized social media that we're all accustomed to, Facebook, Instagram, and many others, is predicated on getting to know who you are so that ultimately through your behavior, they can address deep advertising markets in North America and Europe to come up with a business model. In the East Asian case, people tend to be relatively agnostic, tends to be far more mobile-centric. Mobile usage in developed Asia and developing Asia is 2 to 3 times higher than it is in developed West. And then there's the style of the handsets. The handsets are typically, they're all Android. iOS is almost non-existent. And they tend to be $70 to $150 devices, so that they've got a very different power profile. So the sum of all these things means that there's a different style of usage and play, which might fit consumers in these countries. The value that's unlocked for the business model as it is then shared with the local ecosystems is also different. Local business terms tends to be different. And migme is executing on against that. We believe that differentiation creates a window of opportunity for us to execute against.
And how have artists responded to your revenue sharing model?
The people that we have of our artists and our media partnerships have responded very, very strongly in a very positive fashion to our business model, or to one aspect to our business model, which is helping fuel user-based growth. And that comes from creating or unlocking value in the audience and sharing it with users. There are other revenue sharing models out there. YouTube shares revenues, Facebook will share some ad revenues and the like. But having said that, they're sharing out of what is a very, very small pool when it comes to advertising in these countries. I'm a huge fan of Tencent QQ. Tencent QQ was listed in 2004. For the first several years, they were focused on virtual gifts and games, a near identical business model that we're applying. The average revenues and monetization rates that appear to be emerging in MIG has a very strong parallel to what I'm aware of Tencent's monetization rates were back then. And that certainly beats the level of advertising revenues, how we followed that advertising route. So going down this premium route, we are able to create a higher ARPU base, which is great. And we're once again able to share that with people in the ecosystem, which are building audiences on our platform. We're really excited.
And what should we expect to see from migme over the next 12 months?
I think migme is, we've got a lot of data now, which I think proves the case that there is some harmony between how we think about the value proposition for customers, how can we go and transform the landscape, how can we reach an absolutely massive user base of tens, possibly hundreds of millions of users. I think we're very, very excited with that. It's very clear that we're now starting to get some repeatability on the monetization rates. So now there's a lot of tuning to improve on those rates, not only by reach to paying users, but also the depth of wallet. It's also very clear that we have a lot of data now that shows that it's not only just the artist model, user-on-user activity, delivery of other services such as e-commerce, which we're very, very excited with, games and other things, that all appears to be evident. So I think as you see us going to 2016 and 2017, migme is very quickly turning into an execution play. And I'm looking forward to just having an absolutely fantastic time of just building an amazing company and carrying our shareholders with us. It's going to be a lot of fun.